We're out here on the beautiful east coast of Vancouver Island at the Campbell River Salmon Festival. We got some single bucking, some chopping, as well as some chainsaw racing. Don't sit down on the job and get on the couch and get ready for the power of lumberjacks.
Lumberjacks is sponsored by Echo, only professional grade with 5-year warranty. Crown, protect, maintain, save. The new YouFind Fish app. Fish with your phone. Humminbird, simply, clearly better.
Out here on Vancouver Island for the Campbell River Salmon Festival and the Logger Sports Competition. Hi, I'm Bill Debo with co-host and lumberjack sport analyst Rod Cumberland. And Rod, we're kicking off this show with the log birling, an event that's so difficult I can't stand on the log long enough to have my picture taken, but it's an event that's really exciting to watch and synonymous with lumberjack sports.
There's no question about it. Done on the east and west coast both. Of course, nowadays we truck all of our logs to the mill on 18-wheelers. But years ago, the lumberjacks used to ride those logs down the river, and of course, that's the origin of the log birling event.
Now, certainly this event requires some experience. We got some younger guys and some older guys.
Yeah, Carson Bischoff is one of the young guys up and coming in this event. But Wade Stewart's been around a long time. He's got the weight, he's got the experience. He'll be a hard guy to knock off the log.
We're going to shift gears to a chopping event after that. It's called the Butcher Block, and it's the big boys.
Oh, that's right. And it's an event that's really unique to West Coast logging. They're doing on our hand chop, 14 inches of round western white pine, and of course, when they jump over to the standing block chop, you've got to go with the big guns here. Brad DeLosa and Mitch Hewitt will be the guys to watch in that event.
Always fantastic coming out to Campbell River, British Columbia. It's fourth time out here for Logger Sports Competition. So many different outdoor recreational pursuits that you can do, including floating down the Campbell River itself in a whitewater raft, or some people even take the opportunity to get their snorkels and their goggles and float down on their butts, just like here. We had a great start to the competition last week, and this week we're looking for a great finish.
Yeah, we sure did, Bill. There's a big log jam in 5th place with 3 lumberjacks all tied with 100 points, and young Sterling Hart atop the board with 225 points as we head into the log birling.
In birling, we had a total of 7 competitors. In the first round, Bartow was awarded a bye, while Carson Bischoff took on Xander Weibel and a 2-1 victory. Sterling Hart then beat Christy Stewart in 2 straight, and veteran Wade Stewart disposed of Scott Thompson to advance in the next round. In round 2, Bischoff upset Bartow 2-1, while Wade Stewart beat out Hart to set up a Bischoff-Stewart championship final. In the consolation bracket, Weibel was put up against Sterling Hart after a first-round bye, while Scott Thompson defeated Christy Stewart for the right to take on Bartow. Weibel then outlasted Hart 2-1 in a fierce battle just before Bartow dominated Scott Thompson 2-0 to set up a consolation final between Bartow and Weibel to determine 3rd and 4th place.
Hi, I'm Xander Weibel. I'm from Portland, Oregon. I'm a full-time student at Portland State University.
My name is Brian Bartow. I'm from Canby, Oregon. I'm a high school track coach.
Bill, the log birling is a very interesting event. It's probably the event that requires the fastest thinking on your feet of any of the lumberjack sports because things change in an instant. So you got to make a quick decision about what you're going to do with your feet just as soon as it happens.
And it's best 2 out of 3. It looks like Xander Weibel goes down for the first heat here against Brian Bartow. And, you know, I guess maybe he just wasn't ready. Look at that. Brian Bartow catches him off guard.
That's right. And you see how fast their feet are moving. They're on a smaller log right now, and things are fast and furious. When you see that white foam and water, you know things are moving quick.
Well, you know, I mentioned at the top of the show I can't stand on a log long enough to have my picture taken. Well, that is true for just about anybody on the planet, except for some of the great few that can do this. Now watch this as they watch each other's feet and make the maneuvers necessary to try and get the other guy off.
That's right. And see, there's some advantage to going backwards because you get to kick your heel into it, put your weight into it. When you run forward, of course, you've got to keep pace. So the idea these guys are having is, of course, running back and forth. Another one down here.
Well, the logs started bouncing a little bit, and Brian Bartow actually tried to change directions here. Look at the balance by Xander Weibel. The log sinks. Brian tries to change directions, head the other way. He loses his balance. Xander knocks him off, heading him down to the best of the 3 right here.
That's right. Actually, a great tactic to use in log birling, Bill. Stopping the log and then starting it moving in the opposite direction. Usually catches your opponent off balance enough to get him in the drink.
Well, you can see their eyeballs. You watch their eyes. They are trained on each other's feet. They're both waiting for an opportunity to make a move.
That's right. And actually, you watch for the guy's hands because all of a sudden when he's off balance, you'll see his hands go in the air like that right there. You take full advantage of it, and down he goes.
Well, Brian Bartow has just nailed down third place in the log burling in a quality field. Xander just loses it, and Brian capitalizes right there as he goes into the drink.
Yeah, I'm Carson Bischoff, Shuswap Lake, and I'm a tree arborist.
Hi, my name is Wade Stewart. I'm from Nanoose, British Columbia. I'm a part-time professional lumberjack and operator of a tree service.
Well, here it is, the championship final in Campbell River of the log burling competition. Carson Bischoff taking on Wade Stewart. Both guys, I mean, they're world class.
They are, no question about it. Obviously, Wade Stewart's been around a long time. When I started in this sport back in the late 80s, early 90s, Wade Stewart's name showed up in the North American Action News repeatedly for wins in the log burling.
And you can see the speed of his feet there. He can literally run full out on these logs, maneuvering along with Carson Bischoff. Look at Wade's feet on the left-hand side, just outrunning Carson, and Carson was running backwards there.
That's right. You don't want to be on a log when Wade Stewart is in control of it, running in the forward direction, because he is just going to bury you in the water.
And that's what he does right there. He's literally, if you watch his knees are coming up almost to waist high. That's how much of a jog he's actually going into. It's 1-0 for Wade going into this best-of-3 final right now. Carson's got to win this one.
That's right. And again, really concentrating on each other's feet, seeing which way he's going to go, trying to get them off balance. Both guys trying to use their weight.
Well, and Carson's really bent over and hunched over. I don't know if he's working extra hard. There's a splash by Wade there to try and throw Carson off balance or loses concentration a little bit.
Sometimes a risky move to splash water on your opponent, but again, a guy like Wade Stewart, oh, and there you go.
Here's the risky maneuver by Carson, splashing water, and he lost it shortly thereafter. Wade Stewart, our burling champion. Now, we've seen you log rolling for years, off and on TV as well. Tell me how much is reactive and how much is proactive when you're up there against a good caliber roller like Carson.
Well, he's a really good roller. You know, sometimes experience comes into play, and I'm a little bit older than him. But if you're patient, it's like boxing with your feet. You know, so you just jab a little bit, try to get his shoulder back, and then when you see him in trouble, then you really got to run as fast as you can to try to kick him in. And it's just it looks like we don't know what we're doing. It's all luck, but no, there's a lot of skill out there, and just like a lot of training and stuff.
Well, I know you've been doing it for years, and you know, again, do you find yourself on the offensive? Sometimes on the defense, are you more of an offensive-minded guy in the log?
Normally I'm actually not. I'm more patient, and I try to make the match last a long time until I see a mistake, and then I pounce on him. I'm not very big, and either is Carson, but when I roll a guy like Brian Bartow, heavier guy, yeah, he's all offense. I just got to try to hang on, you know, and yeah, when you're heavier, you can really control the log. But we don't weigh very much, so it's mostly just offense only when you see a chance. You know, you don't want to blow it, because if you put yourself too much on the side, then he wasn't really in trouble. Then he'll pull you in. You see, so it's kind of hard to explain. You don't want to be too offensive, because next thing you know, you'll be in the water.
Arguably one of the most difficult lumberjack sports anyway. Log burling, there it is, and Wade Stewart is our champion.